Alright, what's up, guys? Andrew Murray tuning in as Skeleton Man. Tonight is special because it is Stories with Skeleton Man. It has nothing to do with Skin Man, sorry, Skin Man, but this is about the wolves. So, it's a teaching and a story all wrapped in one. For some of the wise ones, I would even suggest that you take it in upon meditation. To some of my friends out there, find a comfortable spot and just let me tell you this story and be quiet and listen because I tried really hard. I worked really hard on this and I want y'all's feedback. So welcome to Story Time with Skeleton Man. Tonight's story is about the twin totem poles of Alpha and Omega, the story of the wolves. I'm going to shut this off for y'all to just focus. Tonight I want you to practice listening. Let's not focus on me. Let's focus on the story. Ready? Find yourself a nice, comfortable position. I'll wait. Alright. Once upon a meditation, I myself had a dream, or maybe even a vision. What I saw was a set of twin wolves and their story. The first wolf I saw was pure black, with bright, slight blue eyes that were as white as snow. He was terrifying to me. At first, he had battle wound-like scars all over his body, and behind snarling teeth, I'll never forget the fury look in his eyes. He was angry, scared, fed up, but worst of all, I saw a hint of disappointment. Just enough for me to know I was in trouble with him, but more than enough to not want to even struggle and run from it. Deep in his defensive appearance, I saw a tear of fear. It was clear love was within, and he didn't want me near. He was protecting his pride, as in his family and feelings. I must have stumbled into his cave or something. I think I got too close for comfort. Just as any man would do, I backed out and away from this wolf I trespassed against. But unlike a wise man, as I reproached from this encounter, I attempted to utter the words, "Good boy," to hopefully calm this situation down. This fear-based response of mine was met with a charge after me, barking offensively and snapping at my mercy pleading hands. As soon as I felt like it was all over for my spelunking days, and I'd be conquered by this incredible animal, suddenly a second wolf appeared. Thank God. This one pure white, but for some reason, he had the darkest brown eyes I'd ever seen, even to this day. He was smaller compared to the first one, but nonetheless seemed to make his presence known to even the first wolf. Gaining influence to the situation, this second wolf approached me and the first. His demeanor seemed different. A lot different compared to how I'd stumbled into my first encounter, trespassing and threatening the first wolf. This one approached me with curiosity and caution, with a spine-chilling calmness, paying no mind to the still on guard and offended nature of the first. Although different, nonetheless, both were absolutely terrifying, enough to have me be still and submit. Learning my lesson from his bigger, more threatening comrade, I knew not to speak or move without a clear sign I would survive this. After all, both amazing wolves were now weighing my fate based off my heart pace. I knew this new wolf on the scene would have to make the decision for all three of us, whether I was worthy of mercy or peace. As in rest in peace or chicken dinner, obviously. The pure white, black-eyed wolf gazed deep into my eyes, having me cornered back against the wall, next to his less graceful counterpart. He, or even she, suddenly had a playful posture and a sparkle in her dark eyes. She proceeded to begin yipping yapping, nipping, and even nudging me. She actually started tickling me. I began laughing but wanting to cry because I almost died, and it seemed like I had avoided a tragedy. Love almost childlike, the white wolf wasn't mad at me. In this mind state, I told myself that would be the day I'd make it out of the cave and head on my way full of faith happily. Just then, the black one moved out of the way, made room for my pathway of victory. Alive and well, this almost bad day was a few steps away from history. As I exited quickly, I realized this was going to be a mystery. Why was I graced, then shown mercy? Why was this gift given to me? As soon as the light at the end of the cave lit up the ground, I realized I was walking on bones and skulls of others who had the misfortunate curiosity to explore this cave. Were not so fortunate upon returning from this womb in Mother Earth where the twin wolves stay. In this moment, I was grateful and encouraged to continue, but I stopped to ponder upon my unknown source of bitterness and sadness. As I turned to reconfirm my experience, I didn't see the wolves. I just met just the entrance to the cave on the mountainside, which I was aware was full of painful reminders and primal warnings that just like the wolves, God doesn't show mercy to the poachers and gold diggers. He doesn't even ponder on the bones and dust. He just leaves them as warnings for us to be reminded what happens when we intentionally trespass against others and nature's way of life. As I felt appreciation, I thought to myself, if I could do something for these wolves, I told myself not to bother them. But if they were in trouble, I'd be the one who'd save the cave. I was changing through grace and the mercy of both, as if they were one and the same. Only difference was one wanted to play, and the other got out of the way and guided me on which pathway to take out of the cave. One was already there, and one showed up and saved the day. But the one already there waited for the other in trust, patience, and faith. Unlike the one that showed up the first, one doesn't play games. Unlike the first, the second one was no friend to pain. Thanks to both wolves in this vision, I remembered my faith to have provision whenever I pray and never give up no matter what it takes, whether it be a rabbit hole or cave. So, that's the end of the story about a real vision that I had. And the way that I took it in was I immediately realized that they were family and they were just doing what they were made to do. And upon meditation, inside of you, there are two twin wolves. One white with pitch black brown eyes, and one black with snow white blue eyes. They're twins, still inside the womb, connected by an umbilical. These wolves are your responsibility to love and nature, and they are both a handful. When you feed one by hand, the other one gets mean, not realizing he too benefits from the other one eating. One wolf does tricks, behaves for his meals. The other one tricks and misbehaves and even steals his meals in survival's name, even from his brother and the hand that once fed him. This wolf will be the firstborn and become brave and protective, a good hunter and provider with keen survival instincts, but nonetheless bitter and a cold-blooded killer if someone tries to steal his food or mess with his pride. And on the other side of this tube, we see the runt of the two grow up to be the leader of the pride. So I encourage everybody to take this story within, because it's a great meditation of how we can all look inside and realize that there are two wolves inside of us. And it's a constant spiritual warfare type thing. I just figured It's important for y'all to know what it's like to be skin man versus skeleton man, and skeleton man versus skin man. Because I think the whole point of this, I took 4 groups: White Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Red Lives Matter, Yellow Lives Matter, and I split them into 2, bone and flesh. And even those 2 have to work together. In a way, the flesh protects the bone, and the bone holds the flesh together. And inside of that is marrow, and inside of that is spirit. So think about it, you guys. We all have these things in common. We all have flesh, bone, spirit, marrow, you know? And we all have these black wolves too. And remember, like I said, it's your responsibility to take care of these wolves. I have a question to leave you with. If these 2 wolves got in a fight inside of you, which one do you think would win? When you have an answer for this, I want you to think about it. They're brothers, and they need each other. One needs to grow, the other one needs to learn how to lead. It's inside of us. So, just take that within, and thank you for listening to Story Time with Skeleton Man.